Alvarez? That son of a bitch is lying! Welcome to Legends of Gotham, where we talk about Fox's hit series Gotham, set in the world of Batman. I'm Bill Meeks.
And I'm Anne-Marie DeSimone.
And we're back!
We're back!
Again!
It's what we do.
We do.
We come back every week.
Every week and talk about the hit Fox TV show Gotham, which I already outlined really in the beginning.
You kind of already said that.
So I really don't need to say anything now. Why don't we just sit here and have a moment of silence?
But Truncate Silence is going to get rid of that.
Yeah, probably. Don't tell trade secrets. No, but we're very excited to talk about this week's episode. It was really good, really good. And I believe we'll talk about this more in the points here. But initially, this would have been the last episode if they had just gone with the initial order. Mm-hmm. So it kind of there were a couple beats.
You could tell there was some things that
could have been
changed.
A finale. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Oh
but,
yeah.
Why don't we go ahead and get started talking about this wonderful episode with it, and start us off with the rhyming, riddling episode summary.
All right. Is Arnold Flass what you'd call a good cop? Not after we've seen his drug-induced plot. Will Jim's mission make him a blight on the force? Ask the commissioner, he'd say, of course. Does Penguin party? You bet your butt. Will the booze create the bird's famous gut? Will Fish finally rally or face Arkham's new warden? It's up in the air. And welcome back, Jim Gordon.
Welcome back, Jim Gordon. Welcome back, Jim Gordon. Welcome back. Welcome back. We got trouble right here in Gotham City with a capital P and I lost it. I was going to go through a whole Penguin Music Man thing. Completely lost it.
You got me so off guard. I was just like,
As was its intent. So what did you think about the episode overall, Marie?
I thought it was good. There were some things I'd have changed, but lots of questions and lots of unanswered things. Felt a little bad for Bob. Okay, camera. Okay.
I'm setting up the Anne-Marie cam here. By the way, we record this every Tuesday night at 8:30 p.m. EST over at youtube.universebox.com, where you can look at our pretty faces.
I'm sorry. He likes to put my pretty face. Why is it? Oh, the music thing.
Yeah, I told you I was going to forget to turn that off. We're doing things a little differently here. I actually had to set up my whole computer again. No, but I like the episode too.
Good times.
Okay, so I guess we should talk about
make it happen.
Well, probably the biggest thing in this episode was the ramifications of last week's big confrontation with Falcone and Fish Mooney, and Liza got killed and all that kind of stuff.
Rip Liza.
But this episode was very much, I think, about Fish Mooney's fall. And Anne-Marie actually pointed out as we were watching the episode that this was supposed to be the last episode of the initial order. And it really feels like in that torture chair, maybe she was initially supposed to die. Like maybe that was...
Yeah, but I don't feel like they'd have killed her by random guy Bob.
Well, I mean...
No.
I can see that. Like I could see... Actually, I could see maybe like the Penguin coming in and saving her so he could do it himself or something like that. Penguin would do that.
Penguin would kill Bob and then he'd kill her. He'd kill Bob,
well,
take his coat.
I think Bob's dead anyway.
Well, Bob is dead now.
Yeah, based on what Butch did.
Yeah.
But
no, it wasn't Butch.
Oh, no, not...
It was Zaz.
Oh,
Butch just beat the out of him.
Oh, yeah. And then Zaz came in a little bit later.
Yeah.
And finished the job. There were a couple things that stuck out to me about Fish in this episode, and it was kind of some parallels between Penguin and the pilot, too. Now, in the torture scene and in the scene where she comes in to confront Penguin in the club and everything, she's letting her ego push her around against her better judgment. Mm-hmm. Everything's about getting back at the Penguin because he got her, so she has to get him, and she's not playing it smart at all for a big majority of the episode. And then, of course, when Zaz comes in and everything, Butch makes the selfless sacrifice. I think she's like, okay, I need to start playing this smart, a little bit more like Penguin. And she realizes that the only way to beat Penguin is to maybe think like him a little bit and take it slow, sit back, watch the players play, and wait for your moment. And there were also some really cool parallels to her story in this episode and Penguin's story in the plot was that by the end of the episode, she's missing, as far as everyone knows, presumed permanently, where he was dead. They assume she's not coming back, I'd assume. Right. She has no friends to turn to with the exception of one half of the Bullock Gordon team.
She also
like
has
the Penguin
one other
did.
person. Actually, I didn't put this in here. Her mother.
Oh, that is very true. Maybe
what has happened to her mother? Because they're not going to leave her alone.
Maybe that's where Fish goes and stays while she's waiting.
But her mother, I feel, is in Gotham.
Yeah, and I think like Falcone would probably look there first
I think
too, right?
that's what I'm saying. Like, she got to get her moms out of there.
Yeah, definitely.
Sorry.
Plus, she has that whole big thing with moms anyway, so I mean, it must be very important to her. No, but I really liked it, and I think it's really cool that Fish is kind of taking the Penguin's words to heart when he kind of accused her of, no, I had you going the whole time, and she realized, okay, to beat this guy, I have to sit back, wait for my moment. Any thoughts on Fish Mooney's fall at all?
Maybe she'll start working for Maroni.
What's that?
Maybe she'll start working for Maroni.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend. And
the
Maroni,
enemy of my enemy of my enemy.
And I was going to say Maroni and Penguin are probably going to be enemy-ish.
Yeah, based on that previous
yeah,
song.
well,
not looking good.
We'll get to the preview in a little
That's all I said. I'm not like detailing it and drawing a picture. I could draw a picture and put it right here, but I'm not. So, yeah, I don't know. I wanted her to die.
You wanted her to die?
I'm done with her. I like her, but
like I think if nothing else, at this with what they did in this episode, they're really kind of setting her up for one last big moment, which is,
yeah, she's going down in a blaze of glory.
Oh yeah,
she's like gonna stand in the Times Square of Gotham City, and they're all gonna come at her from different sides.
Maybe she'll start up the Red Hood gang or something.
Oh, see, talking about jumping ahead.
Okay, you wanted to talk a little bit about Bullock here, right?
Okay, so I think Bullock is in on the drug ring.
Oh, do you? Why's that? Just because he had?
Because he's shady. He's completely shady on
very
everything.
Shady.
But he was like, "I'll walk you out," and I'm like, "What? You'll walk him out? He's a grown man who works in the narc department. Like, I think he's good."
Yeah.
So
do you think maybe that's part of the reason why he was like, "Jim, back off"?
Yes.
Yeah, that he might have been involved.
I don't think he was necessarily involved in this specific incident.
Yeah.
But I think he's involved in a branch of it, which is why he didn't sleep all night. And Fish.
Very obviously, there's a lot of things that Harvey's into that we're not quite privy to yet, like making out with Fish Mooney, for example. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
No, you're good.
Okay. Let's see. You wanted to...
Okay, I thought you had another point there. No. Okay. Also, this is slightly unrelated, but completely related. The suicide. In all caps, I wrote, "Who the hell is going to believe that a man stabbed himself in the back with an ice pick in the police department?"
Well, I don't think many people need to. It just needs to be, the investigators need to believe it by way of bribing or something.
Negative.
No, but the thing is things like, and I even wrote this down in my notes and stuff, things like that happen in the real world all the time. No, they do.
I like to think they don't.
I guarantee you, I've read 2 or 3 news stories in the past 6 months where cops did a really bad job of covering up their mistakes, and it was very obvious that they, like some guy shoots himself in the back. I've heard it more like with a gun, like someone committed suicide by shooting themselves in the back of the head or something like that. Yeah, or they'll end up killing somebody, and they'll be like, oh, it was because he had a weapon, and then he doesn't have a weapon on him. He doesn't even have anything that looks like a weapon on him. He has empty pockets, So, I mean, there's history, IRL, in real life, of cops.
Just IRL.
I did just IRL. But, of cops doing this sort of shady shenanigans.
I live in a world of rainbows and unicorns over here. There's some glitter. It rains glitter in my world.
Fair
so
enough.
We're going to keep it that way. These types of things don't happen.
Okay.
AKA, I don't watch much of the news.
Yeah, I don't watch much of it either, but...
Facebook.
Yeah. Yeah, big arguments on Facebook about it. Okay, something else in this episode that I was really pumped to see, and I always kind of glom onto these moments because I love them so much, was Alfred and Bruce come back from Switzerland or wherever they were. They were
at a chalet in Switzerland.
For 4 weeks, which was the exact amount of time between episodes, I think.
Amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. Weird coincidence.
Weird coincidence.
No, but Alfred and Bruce, they're on the hunt for Selena Kyle in this episode.
Well, Bruce is on the hunt for her. Alfred is just like, I have to drive this kid around.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But so they're on the hunt for her and everything. And Alfred does something at the end that kind of made me question him a little bit. Actually, first, I'll just mention that when they were out looking for her and they ran into Poison Ivy Pepper, and she offered him, or she asked for $20, which is way low for,
Street kid.
millionaire Bruce Wayne or billionaire
Right.
Bruce Wayne. Like, ask for 40 at least.
Mhm.
Street kid. No, but it seemed like Alfred was kind of like trying to pull him away from the new friends he had found and trying to isolate him. Even, taking him to Switzerland was kind of isolating him from all those new friends he had found down or on his adventure with Catgirl.
Yeah, like, but that's not a great adventure. Like, I would discourage anyone I know from being near Ivy Pepper.
Mm-hmm.
She's creepy. What did he say? It looks like she has, I don't know what the disease was.
Well,
But no, that's not the type of friend.
mange.
Mange. I don't know what that is, but whatever. It's obviously not good. I would discourage. I'd be like, yeah, let's go back to the private school.
It just like, and it's kind of contrasting. I think, what was it? Harvey Dent, whichever one had Tommy Elliott in it, Hush. But it seems like Alfred was really upset because Bruce wasn't fitting in with all those kids and not falling in with those kids and, having like a social life within the school and everything. And then the second Bruce finds friends, Alfred's like, no, you shouldn't hang out with them. It's bad. It's bad. It just felt it. Especially,
I see where you're coming from, but
especially like taking him out of Gotham City for a month, like right after.
he had just chased him around. Like, there were assassins chasing him.
Yeah, and I mean, there are logical reasons for it too, but I'm building to a greater point.
Okay,
here.
build to your greater point.
But then in the last scene with the snow globe and what's the line? Or would you rather continue crying over the shattered fragments of your young dreams?
Yeah.
It was just kind of cold, and it seemed like he was kind of trying to tamp down all these really raw emotions that Bruce was feeling, which doesn't seem like a great idea for a kid who lost his parents a couple months back.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, Bruce becomes Batman. He needs to learn how to clamp down on those emotions and kind of channel them out into something more positive. And we want to see that, and we want to see Alfred do this because it's going to help Bruce become Batman. But at the same time, IRL, in a real-world circumstance, this is a pretty messed up thing to do to a kid who's like dealing with the tragedy of his parents just dying and assassins chasing him, and he's working with the cop against the mayor and all this, and to kind of pen him in and be like, you shouldn't be emotional like that, Bruce. You shouldn't let it affect you like that. Like, he
was just mad that a girl made him that upset. That's what he was upset. He wasn't upset that he was showing emotion. He was upset that Selena Kyle caused that emotion.
Well, I think a good bit of it definitely has to do with Selena's involvement, but I think it was more just about, well, he didn't want Bruce sitting there stewing on bad feelings, I guess.
Yeah.
That was the main thing, because I forget, he was like, now do you want to do something, or do you want to sit there feeling sorry for yourself?
I'd have been like, I'd like a pint of ice cream and I need to wallow for another day, okay? Put on a movie.
Yeah, and obviously it's a little bit of tough love, and it comes to a good end because Bruce becomes Batman and saves the world several times, kills Darkseid once, all that sort of stuff. But at the same time, in a real world setting, if there was a security camera teddy bear in Wayne Manor and I saw and someone played this on like Inside Edition, I'd be like, it's pretty messed up. Rich people are weird.
Rebecca agrees with you. She thought it was little stuff too. Let the kid cry.
That being said, I wouldn't want them to change it. I think it works for the story, it works for the mythology, but it just seemed a little weird.
It just seemed a little.
Yeah.
I can see.
I just liked how every time there's an Alfred Bruce scene, it kind of makes me re-examine the dynamic between those two in a new way, which is really cool considering, I've been reading these comics for almost 30 years now. And
you've been reading them for almost 30 years.
Yeah, I started reading Batman comics when I was like 4 or 5 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm almost 35 years old. Yeah, but it's really cool. I really enjoy it that this series is making me look at these characters in new ways and kind of examine their relationship, especially the early part of it, in different ways too.
Nice. Okay, so Miss Kringle, I think she's coming around to Mr. Enigma.
Oh yeah, in a big way.
But not in a big way. She's inching there. She doesn't feel the need to scream and run in the other direction. I begged for Anne Marie Cameron. Now it creeps me out a little. So like, the whole, okay, she took the the greeting card and the history behind the greeting card. And
Hmm.
she looked really upset even before he came in that the card was being read.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
Also, they had gone through her desk to get it, so there's that problem. But and that she felt compelled enough to apologize. I liked that
Hmm.
she did that. Not quite ready for him to ask her out though. It's
See,
like, I'm gonna stop you right there and I'm gonna run away. And I love he's like, there's still hope.
See, my kind of my read on her is that she's just as awkward as Ed is, so she doesn't know quite how to react to this kind of attention. Like that's my read on her is that she likes Ed and she sees why they're a good fit, but she's so awkward that she can't be like she can't take the initiative either, and she doesn't want him to because it's too embarrassing in the moment. She'd prefer to just get little love notes and cards and things for a little while first,
I don't know. She doesn't
build up to
look
it.
too awkward to me. She looks like hipster nerd.
Well, very true, very true. There is that perception.
She looks like cool nerd, not
But
nerd.
I'm actually kind of going off that same nerd thing specifically, like the bun and or the ponytail and the
Uh-huh.
glasses and stuff like that, to be shorthand to the audience that yeah, she's pretty nerdy and a little awkward too. Because I mean that's it's the she's all that. You take off the glasses, oh, it's whatever her name was, Jennifer Leigh Cook, maybe I can't remember. My she's all that trivia is way down low on the priority list.
Probably, yeah. So,
Yeah, but no, good developments, and I was actually hoping for a bigger move by Ed this episode because there was some talk that there was going to be a bigger move, and I mean this was a
he
big
had
move.
multiple scenes. He had like 3 or 4 scenes though. That was cool.
Oh yeah, definitely, and he obviously got it off his chest how he was feeling about Kristen to her and everything, so that's a big move. But I want to see him blow something up her.
He will. He surgically removed onions from his takeout. I think we're on the road.
I loved how he was using this.
I know, because at first you're like, what is that? And he's like, I'm surgically removing the onions. I'm like, oh, Enigma.
Nice. Okay, well, we're going to take a little break here. I mean, we're still
Well, it's
talking
not a
about the
break.
episode, though, because it's time for Look at That
this
Joker. Look at the
Joker.
Joker
Oh, look
all
at
over
this
town.
Joker.
He's going to look
Hey,
and
look
look
at
like a
this
clown. Look at the Joker every day. Look at the
Your
Joker in a
story
Joker
your
way.
song changes all the time.
I know. I change it every week. Look at this Joker. This is where we look at this Joker and look at the hints, kind of Easter eggs and possible candidates for the Joker on Gotham. Now, we've been keeping track since the pilot. You'll remember that awkward comedian, and there was the smile graffiti, and we keep going, and some of them are good,
And some of them
are
really bad.
And
Wasn't
there's
there
the
one
guy,
that we chose a sandwich or something?
yeah, and there's the guy we think killed Thomas and Martha Wayne, which we'll talk about in a minute here. And here we go, welcome back, Jim Gordon. Now, welcome back, Jim Gordon. The guy who struck me the most as a potential Joker in this week's episode was Derek Delaware, who was the cop who ultimately gave up Flass in the third act. And the reason is 'cause he has that big focus on leave my wife and kid out of it. They're the most important thing to me. I'm doing awful things for them. And it really put me in mind of the comedian that supposedly is the original Joker in The Killing Joke by Alan Moore, which is one of the most famous Joker stories. It's the one where Batgirl gets paralyzed, all that kind of stuff. And it's also the one, which I believe Wu mentioned in a voicemail last week, the one bad day thing. All it takes is one bad day that separates Joker and Batman. But so his attention to his family kind of reminded me of that. And considering that Flass is protected, maybe some cops will throw a red hood on Delaware for playback, maybe. Because, in The Killing Joke, what happens after the comedian scenes is he puts on a red hood, he goes to rob someplace, Batman stops them, knocks him in a vat of chemicals, and he's the Joker. So I'm thinking like maybe the cops get this Derek Delaware in a red suit to do a heist as payback, or maybe even like the mob people do it too. Like, but I think
is the mob involved?
No, I guess not. I guess
it doesn't feel like the mob's involved. But I'm just saying.
But I definitely think that move, and it would also put Jim Gordon squarely in the I helped make the Joker column, like Batman is in a lot of the original versions of the Joker origin, which I think could placate fans who are like, how can you have the Joker without Batman? You can't put Batman in this show because Batman and the Joker have to exist at the same time and everything. But we'll see how all that goes. But yeah, if you guys want to, go to legendsofgotham.com, click on Look at This Joker up at the top, and this is open comments, so you can come in and leave comments if you have any Joker suspects, any Easter eggs, any ideas about who the Joker might end up being.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and put it on this page, and we'll read it.
Yes, please.
Look at this
Joker.
Okay, and I also wanted to mention here real quick, Arnold Flass, who was the main bad cop who gets arrested at the end of the episode and everything,
if you will.
He's actually a pretty famous figure in the world of Batman. He was originally created for Batman Year One, and we watched the movie over the summer, the Batman Year One movie. You remember Jim's original partner who was corrupt, who he eventually made crash into?
Sure.
Okay. But anyway, that was John Flass. So I thought it was very appropriate for it to be the first big cop bust that Jim had, to be the same guy who was his partner in Batman Year One.
They're good at this. They're really good with this type of stuff.
Also, a little trivia.
I like trivia.
Ben McKenzie voiced Batman in the Batman Year One animated movie. So yeah, lots of
I remember that fun trivia.
Stuff. So if you thought you recognized, and he also he's appeared in the comics since then, and he was also a minor character in Batman Begins, I believe, one of the Christopher Nolan Batman movies. But if you want to check out more about him, we'll link the wiki in the show notes at legendsofgotham.com. Okay, let's see here. Next, Rebecca Johnson, a listener who will have a voicemail from a little bit later.
She's in the chat if you're there.
She is. She put a challenge to me, a Bat Fact challenge. Now, first, I'm going to play you her video. Let me get it pulled up here.
Bat Facts. His real name is Bruce Wayne, son of Thomas and Martha. His butler's name is Alfred. He lives in Gotham City at Wayne Manor. He drives a Batmobile, works out of a bat cave, responds to a bat signal, throws batarangs, wears a Cape Cowl and a utility belt. He's friends with Superman, created in 1939, called the Cape Crusader.
Bat Facts, and she got 16 in 15 seconds. I have no idea how I'm going to do on this because I haven't practiced at all.
So are you going to repeat any, are you allowed to repeat?
I didn't listen just then, so I'm going to say if I happen to repeat one, it's cool.
Okay, so hold on. So I have to count and time you?
Yeah, here's my phone for a stopwatch. Okay, I'm so scared right now.
Stopwatch, I want a timer. No.
Well, you can use a stopwatch and just wait until it counts down to 15.
Yeah, I get that, but I have to be counting too. Okay.
No, I'll count the facts. I can count the facts.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
Set?
Mm-hmm.
Go.
Batman used a gun in his first appearance. Jason Todd was the second Robin. Alfred Pennyworth became the Outsider one time. Batmite and Mick Jizpidalik started a comic book series called World's Funnest. The Giant Penny is from the Penny Plunderer.
Oh, stop.
I got 5. I should have practiced that better. Rebecca, you bested me. Congratulations.
Rebecca blew you away.
You know, maybe I'll practice and maybe I'll put out a video a little later this week with me giving it an honest try, a practice try. Yeah. Maybe.
Oh, and that's where the delay is showing because she just said, "You can do it, Bill."
No, I can't, Rebecca. No, I can't.
No.
Okay, but I actually maybe look forward a little later this week. I'll try and do my own Bat Facts challenge that's actually good, like Rebecca's was, right?
Yeah, Rebecca's was awesome.
It was completely awesome, and I am completely not. And we wanted to show here some fan art that we got pointed to from @Mad GUIDA666 on Twitter. And we'll have a link to her Facebook page on the show notes at legendsofgotham.com too. But some really good Gotham fan art. If you're watching the video,
beautiful.
Yeah, it's sort of like an illustrated style, almost like Amelia Bedelia or some sort of children's book or Miss Pigglewiggle. I really like the style. It's very sketchy. Here's a Penguin and
Gordon and creepy mom.
Yeah, and I think she Zaz and one of his riot girls.
The assassin bees.
Then Penguin and Fish, but so much good fan art here. I really enjoy these.
Wow, these are awesome.
Yeah, especially Mrs. Cobblepot. She's really good. Oh, that one's really good too. It's kind of like angular and kind of Frenchy. Yeah, but very, very good stuff. And you can check all that out at her Facebook page it's facebook.com/Anna with a 1N GODIN.
Yeah, it'll be in the show notes.
Yeah, it'll be in the show notes at legendsofgotham.com. All right, but I guess we should go ahead and get back to talking.
Moving.
Yeah, about welcome back Jim Gordon. Penguin has a buddy. He has a pal. He has a friend and a club, and it's awesome.
Yay!
And that's all I have to say about that.
Bump.
No, but he's sort of enamored of Mr. Jim Gordon in this episode, for sure. And Jim was very much creeped out by him.
Yeah.
For sure. One of the big questions from that whole interaction where Jim goes to the club, Fish Mooney's, I guess is the official name of the club.
Apparently.
But he goes to the club and asks for the information, and then he gets the information and finds out that guy got hurt. Do you think Jim's going to strike back at the Penguin for this?
Yeah.
Or do you think he's just going to kind of let it simmer?
He's not letting it simmer. He hasn't let anything simmer.
This is true. This is true.
No, he's coming back, and he's coming back in a big way.
But I mean, this could come back on him, and I mean, ultimately, he's trying to do good. Like he's sort of like the neutral good of Gotham City.
I know, but the way that man was begging, he didn't like that.
Yeah,
he's gonna have to do something, even if it's just slamming Penguin into the wall and going, "I told you no one gets hurt.
I'm not your friend.
I'm not your buddy. I'm not
We're
your
not going
pal.
out for coffee anymore."
But we are. When can I pick you up?
No, but I really like that scene between Gordon and Penguin, though, because it very much reminded me of, and you're not quite aware of this, but fans of the Batman comics will be, that's basically how it goes down. Anytime Batman goes and talks to Penguin, he goes there for information or for the Penguin to do something, a little sketch, that Batman can't really get involved in, but he needs Penguin's help for one reason or the other. And it always goes down like that, where the Penguin's very friendly to him and like, hey, we're have a chair, Batman, all that kind of jazz something.
So so even with how evil and horrible the Penguin is, he still always has like a relationship with the Bat.
He's useful to Batman because
everybody's useful.
Like the Penguin, his main motivation is glorifying the Penguin and lifting the Penguin up and being powerful as the Penguin, and he does that mainly by the time after No Man's Land and everything happens in the comics. He basically becomes sort of he handles trade, like imports, exports out of Gotham, illegal, like black market trade out of Gotham, and he handles information. He's an information
portal.
Yeah, more or less. So Batman, yeah, if Penguin does something really bad, Batman will come and take him to Arkham or whatever. But for the most part, Penguin is just harmless enough and just useful enough for Batman to kind of look the other way.
Interesting.
A lot of the time. Although a lot of times what'll happen is Batman will come and ask for information from the Penguin, plus one of Penguin's buddies get Penguin in trouble and then have to save Penguin. Because Penguin upsets some people or something.
Yeah, it happens.
But I also, the drunk montage, drunk in the club. It was amazing.
I love the one where he was like laying and he was like talking to the camera.
I enjoyed him like spitting at the fish and like just interacting with the fish on the wall. Yeah,
the anger. Oh.
And then his big ego moment up there, pretending like it was the opening night of the club.
Opening night. And welcome to
the Iceberg Lounge. But he doesn't get to say it because Fish comes in. Yeah.
You need to project more.
And that's when we also find out that the name of the club is officially Fish Moonies.
Moonies.
Oh, I just realized we can't see that that Rumple has a Batman hat on. Let me try and fix that here. You can see that a little bit.
He has a bat hat on.
Yeah, bat hat.
Bat hat.
Actually from Rebecca Johnson, come to think of it.
This is like the Rebecca Johnson show tonight. I like it.
No, but once Fish got in there, at first Penguin was like being all like feted and like, no, let's work together, Fish. Let's do it. Come on, hey, we can work. And
I'd have been scared of her. She came in there with a metal bat and Butch.
Well, at first I thought it was authentic. Like this is the Penguin like undoing months of characterization and everything. Then as soon as he realizes Fish isn't going for it, the real Penguin comes out and he kind of berates her. And I love that speech where he was like, no, I got one over on you for so long. You knew nothing about it. And like, because I mean, we've all had those moments where there was something that you had planned or something you had done that you just like, you held in because you knew you had to, but you wanted to get it out so bad. And then you finally get that moment to get it out. And it's like, ah, ha, ha, ha. My impression
Bill
of
is
the
an
Penguin.
evil villain now.
Now, I always have been.
Well, you're letting it out.
But I thought that was great. And I really just loved everything about Penguin and the club, and I can't wait for that to be his base of operations.
Yeah, it's better than the restaurant.
Definitely.
But then, well, maybe.
That is a nice restaurant, though. I believe it's one of the oldest in New York City.
I
I mentioned that a few times. Huh?
Yeah, a little bit. So has Jim ever been introduced to Gideon?
Gideon.
You don't know who Gideon is?
Which one is Gideon? Refresh me.
Penguin's dude.
Okay, yeah, that dude. I don't know if they have or not.
And when did he become the dude?
Well, I don't even remember him being in the show before.
Oh yeah.
Oh, was he?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
He's been there.
Was he part of Maroney's crew or
Yeah.
Falcone's?
Maroney's.
Oh,
So here we go.
Oh yeah, because they had that car ride together where, yeah, okay, now I remember him very well because they even had that conversation where you realize that guy was in on it and everything.
Huh?
Where you realized Gideon was in on it with Penguin as far as like going behind Maroney's back.
Okay.
The whole thing. He was aware of the whole Falcone situation.
Well, you kind of have to. Somebody has to be.
Mm-hmm.
But it just seemed weird because he walks in, drops off the bag of stuff, and basically walks out. Like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, do you two know each other? Because you didn't get a name, a number, and with the fact that Jim goes on to make this big speech about like respecting the badge. Where's the badge? I want the badge. And all that. I feel like a good cop. Respect the badge. Would have at least gotten the guy's name and contact information.
Well, keep in mind that he was this was very much off, not on the level. This whole thing that was going on.
I'm just saying.
Like I would assume he knew that Penguin was going to be sending somebody at some point, and that just happened to be the guy, more or less.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I did like Gideon though.
I did. I like him. I don't like him as much as Butch, but
I'm sure Mrs. Cobblepot made it home safely that night, for sure.
Mrs. K.
Okay, another big question in this week's episode, and I think the answer is kind of obvious, but I figured I'd open it up. Some people might disagree. Okay, when Kat comes to talk to Bruce at the mansion, and he gives her the snow globe, and I'll ask her to stay there, she says she was lying about seeing the murder.
And she's lying now.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, do you think Kat was lying to Bruce?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know why? Because she looked the girliest she may have ever looked when he gave her that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And she was so happy and so excited. And then he said, please move in. And she went, no, kid.
No, maybe in 10 years. But no, I think he just freaked her out by trying to get too close too soon. And she's very much independent and doesn't like having people too close because I'd assume because the people that she's been close to fell away from her. And so she doesn't want to have that happen again. And
True that.
One thing I did think about, though, is that if she is telling the truth and she actually didn't see the guy who killed Thomas and Martha Wayne, then our prediction for who killed the Waynes, it's completely wrong because we based that mainly on
shiny shoes.
The shiny shoes scene and the police sketch. Which, if she's lying, then the police sketch is bogus. But I kind of wondered, since the shiny shoes guy was in the precinct back in what was it, episode 2, Selena Kyle. Maybe she saw him when she came there to look for Jim Gordon, and that's who she described to the police sketch artist. So if we are wrong and she did make it all up and she was telling the truth about lying, then maybe she saw him in the precinct and that's where the sketch came from, and that's why it looks so much like that guy. Maybe. Just a theory.
I hope not.
But I hope we were right.
I hope we were right,
because we called that like way early.
Way early.
Yeah, calling a shot like Babe Ruth. Yes, I made a sports reference. Go with it.
It's scary. Okay. Bullock and Fish.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we all kind of knew, right?
Yeah. Will it be Fullock or Bish?
Bish.
Fullock and Bish. Fullock and Bish.
Bish.
Bish. Definitely
It's
Bish.
totally Bish. I'm putting in the chat. Bish.
Fair enough.
But don't come back. Find Butch and help him. Like, I don't know.
It was weird in the sense it seemed to come out of left field, but at the same time it didn't. Like, if you go back and like I went back and thought about like the various scenes with Bullock and Fish, and I was like, Okay, that makes sense that maybe they,
Yeah.
hooked up once or twice or something like that. Although it really, the reason it's kind of struck me as so odd is just because I was picturing her, based on the mid-season finale,
Hmm.
I was thinking she and Alfred were going to be involved. Especially since Jada had tweeted out that, no, because remember they had that
I
flirty,
do.
flirty moment?
I do.
And,
I just
but,
didn't think he was trying to find Bruce.
mhm. Well, I mean, he was flirting with her, though.
Yeah.
And then what was I even saying? Oh no, but Jada tweeted out around actually within like the next 2 or 3 weeks, as far as what episode they were shooting, she tweeted out that she was shooting stuff at Wayne Manor. So I was thinking, that they were probably gonna be shipped,
Oh.
which would be Pennyworth.
Fennyworth.
But yeah, so that if anything, that's why the whole Harvey situation kind of took me by surprise, I'd say.
Interesting.
Mhm.
Maybe she'll play Alfred
She could.
because she's going somewhere. She's standing on a dock in the
Mhm.
middle of the night. Like we don't know where she's going.
Yeah, into hiding, that's for sure.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, anything else on Bullock and Fish? Okay.
No, nothing else on Bish.
Okay, so Butch had a couple big hero moments in this episode, and selfless hero moments, like actually probably the most altruistically heroic we've seen anyone act, as far as, saving somebody directly at all cost, even their own personal safety. Now, a couple weeks back when he killed the mob guy for Fish, I know we had both been questioning whether it was because he was playing an angle and maybe trying to get a piece for himself and the whole Falcone empire, kind of playing a game on Fish, or if it was just he was so devoted to her that, and he was so devoted to this old friend of his that he was struggling with it. And obviously, after this week, I'm pretty
It was
pretty
that.
safe to say that he was just like, he didn't want to kill his old friend, but he didn't want to disappoint Fish.
So
And Fish ended up winning out over that old friendship,
yeah.
which was cool. And I also thought that just seeing how far he was willing to go for Fish definitely lends credence to the theory, also based on that police sketch, that maybe he was the Wayne murderer. Because that sketch also looks a
could be
little
him.
like him, too. It looks a little more like the other guy,
Yeah.
but it looks like Butch, too. So it
Yeah.
could totally be him.
Yeah, they're all meatheads.
But I definitely think, he would definitely kill two of the most powerful people in the city for Fish if she asked him.
Yeah.
No question.
Yep.
No question.
Okay. So the way that Butch looks at Fish though is so almost creepy.
Mm-hmm.
Like he just looks at her like he's looked up to her his whole life.
Yeah.
Like this is his childhood hero, and
Mhm.
he can't believe that he's actually working for her.
Yeah, and that's something I never really got a read on from him, like especially the first couple episodes. Like I thought he was just
but
really, I just thought he was like random henchman number 3 or something for the first couple episodes.
well, that's because that's all they gave him.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, once he became more and more prominent, it was just like he just seemed to like it. His adoration for her seems to grow.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that, and it just I want their origin story. Like, did he start off as like a penguin,
Mm-hmm.
or what? Because I mean, he killed his childhood friend. He's sacrificing his life to save her.
Mm-hmm.
He found her another shiny leather outfit to wear. So, it's like, what did he do, or what did she do for him, or what does she have on him?
Yeah. I
Does
also,
she have on him the Wayne murders?
that could be true. Yeah, because well, I mean, although if she had something big like that on him, wouldn't he be okay with her dying? Maybe, like.
Yeah. But I'm just, I don't know.
Mhm.
I'm just trying to figure out why he seems to worship her.
I still feel like we need to see why Fish is in so tight with Falcone. Like, we still need, like, an official, like, Fish backstory, origin story, because
Yes.
there's still some big question marks in her past, and they've alluded to it, and alluded that she was lying about it. That whole, like, in the room with her mom when she was taking on John's or whatever.
Yeah.
But so they've alluded to it, and she's lied about it and everything. But I think it's going to come into play, definitely, somewhere down the line. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Okay,
Oh, here we go.
arbitrary scale.
Of
Out of 333 shattered fish, How many shattered fish would you give this episode, Anne-Marie?
I'm shattering the fish. No.
It's my fish sound.
No, that's not true. No.
Here. You better hurry.
Oh.
Stupid human trick.
300 shattered fish.
Why?
It was good. There's room for improvement, and you creeped me out. So I had to pick a number. How about you?
Fair enough. No, I'd give it 290 shattered fish.
Okay, it's pretty much the same. So,
Yeah, pretty much. Like I thought it was a really good episode. It was really strong. It wasn't my favorite episode of the series, but it was good. And if it had been the series finale and they had, nipped and tucked a few things, killed off fish, made Penguin say the iceberg lounge, maybe.
Yeah.
Then I would have felt satisfied.
Or
with the
had
way it
him
went
like
down.
even stutter into the eye, like.
Like honestly, even if this has been the series finale, and they had made
You
those
mean season finale?
no series.
Oh, series?
Like if they hadn't got renewed or picked up, or if it had just done horribly in the ratings or something, and this was the series finale, I could still be okay with that, really, because that gives you enough, right? Because then
It actually really does.
yeah, it wraps up the Penguin
And you
storyline.
can see how it. Actually, now that you say that,
it
I
could
totally see how it was a season finale.
Yeah, and it could totally be a series finale if they needed it to be too.
Which they don't, thankfully.
But then they didn't kill off fish, so it's good.
Yay!
Any word from the chat room as far as arbitrary scales?
No, but Bobby Hawk says his computer sucks, so I'm assuming he's been having trouble keeping up with us tonight.
Fair enough. Sorry, Bobby.
Sorry, Bobby.
Okay, we're going to get to the news and some feedback here, but first off, we wanted to tell you about a new little project we have going on. Anne-Marie, why don't you tell them about Universe Box?
Hi, folks. You may have heard of Universe Box. It's about stories set to a theme. It's our new podcast. It's like a fan cast, but we're geeking out about life. Every week has a new topic. Last week we started with home. This week we're doing retro tech, and then we have cookies, and then we have fear, and he's twitching because I'm changing his words.
No.
We have a
Bat facts. His real name is Bruce Wayne, son of...
Okay, let's see. Has it picked it back up? Okay, I think we're back.
Are we here?
I hope. Okay, we're sorry about dropping out, folks. Our streaming program crashed on us. If you're still watching, hello.
Hi. Sorry.
But yeah, go ahead and finish telling them about Universe Box.
I think I was down to find it on iTunes or go to universebox.com to subscribe.
Yes, universebox.com is where you can go to subscribe to Universe Box. And this week is Retro Tech with my friend Father Robert Balliser. Also, you might have seen the Universe Box special come over your podcast feed for Legends of Gotham. Yeah, there's the Universe Box, by the way. Oh, there we go. Hold on one sec. It'll pop up.
Wait for it.
Wait for it.
Wait
Oh,
for it.
I guess
Nope.
it's not.
Oh,
Oh, there it is.
This is the
yeah,
box.
Yeah, that's the Universe Box. And
Do you want to see what's in the box?
there's
Nope.
more boxes.
Tell them.
Sorry.
Though they've all seen
But
it.
we record that every Thursday night at 8:30 p.m. at youtube.universebox.com
Oh, yeah.
too.
Yeah,
So
that
check it
changing
out,
thing.
definitely. And
we
now,
didn't
on to the
my-
news.
News.
First up, ratings. Gotham scored a 2.1, which is down a tenth from last week's 2.2. Adults 18 to 49 rating. So down a little bit, but not too bad. Not too bad. Okay, next up, we're going to talk it. Well, we can't show you the trailer for next week's episode.
cannot.
Maybe we can show you a little
Turn
bit.
off computer sounds.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. That's what I was supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But we can maybe show you a little bit of it. But next week's episode, 114, The Fearsome Dr. Crane, Part 1. I guess it's a two-parter, but
Oh.
we'll describe to you what's going on in the trailer. So.
Okay.
Okay,
Fish.
Fish wakes up in a trailer.
It looks a lot like the trailer that Penguin was
from
in.
the first episode. And Maroni and Penguin facing off with a gun.
Two men are after somebody. There's a puppy. Gorkins.
Yeah. Gorkin's back.
Gorkins.
Dr. Crane, a new threat.
Are they in a pool?
They are in a pool. And yeah, this is supposedly going to be the Scarecrow's father,
Hello, Essen.
Essen.
Saying, just leave it alone, Jim. Leave it alone.
Actually, I don't think I ever mentioned that, but Essen was a little weird this episode
Mm-hmm.
because she kind of went through the same character arc that she did back in the Black Mask episode where she was like, doubt Jim, protect yourself, protect yourself. Oh, no, it's cool.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Jim.
Well, he had evidence.
Mm-hmm.
She told him he needed evidence. He
Very
didn't even
true.
go to her because he had evidence literally sitting on his desk. He's like, yep, I'm just going to do this. So I know Bobby gives it 305 fish. And as always, Rebecca screams Gorkins.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay, and we have a couple some casting news here. So if you're wary of spoilers, just skip ahead a couple minutes and you'll miss it all. But first off, we have two villains who have been cast. First off is the doll maker, which you guys will probably remember was mentioned in episode 2, Selena Kyle. That was the person who was wanting all the kids for whatever.
Or who knows
And
what.
Deadline reports that actor Colm Feore will bring the doll maker to life on Fox's Gotham. The character was mentioned by name in an early episode, and I guess this guy actually played a villain on Flash or Arrow too, and the doll maker has appeared on Arrow. Like
There is a lot of crossover here,
the
people.
character, well, the thing is like, I'm sure there's like a list of like 60 supervillains that the TV properties can use or whatever that they're not going to planning on using for the movies, and I'm sure Dollmaker is probably on it, you know.
Yeah, so they're allowed to use it for the
Yeah,
shows.
and I think we had one other like that where there was a villain in this one that there was a version of an Arrow or Flash, maybe.
Or you get an actor who
Actor.
plays something on one of them and
Like
plays
Zaz.
and then he plays a completely different character on
Who, by
Gotham.
the way, I thought Zaz was back in proper form versus last
Dollmaker
week
was
this episode.
Arrow, confirmed.
Yes, excellent. Okay, and we also have straight from the mouth of Bruno Heller, the showrunner or
Hey.
executive producer or whatever of Gotham,
He does things.
that we're getting a certain red hooded fellow before the season's out. Now, Comic Book Resources, which is a great site, ask him, can you say if it will remain a costume-free season? And he says, that's a good question, especially now that we have a pickup. I always take a long-term view of the show. I'm looking at several years. So we're in no hurry to do that. There's going to be an episode that involves the Red Hood, which picks up that strand, that costume strand, and sort of gives it a philosophical base. If that's not too pretentious a word. Why costumes? What's the power of costumes? What's the power of a mask? All that groundwork will be laid sort of culturally for that side of the DC universe before we start rolling into more spectacular spandex type of deal. Bruno Heller.
Nice.
No, but it sounds interesting. And you know what? The way he describes it there, what it puts me to mind of is the Balloon Man guy. Because he very much stated he had a philosophical point to make. And I know we had suspected him in the episode The Balloon Man.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was a potential Joker that episode.
Yes.
So it would make total sense for him to become the Red Hood and kind of finish up that thematic statement he first made in The Balloon Man.
Does the Joker have a connection to the Red Hood? Has been asked.
Oh yeah, the Joker definitely has a connection to the Red Hood. As I mentioned in Look at This Joker, in The Killing Joke, a comedian puts on a Red Hood, becomes the Red Hood. Batman knocks him down into a vat of acid, and that comedian becomes the Joker. There's also another Red Hood character in the comics who was the second Robin, Jason Todd, who was killed by the Joker, and then took on the mask of the Red Hood to kind of like get back at the Joker, be like taunt him more with that identity. But I don't think they're going to bring that in at all, because you would have to bring in Jason Todd, and why bring in Robin when Batman's younger than Robin is?
Oh yeah.
You know, so it'll probably be the traditional Joker version of the Red Hood. But pretty cool. And a couple more things here.
There was a lot of stuff this week, guys.
There
Lots
was.
of stuff.
I saw this over on the R Gotham subreddit, and I thought you guys might get a kick out of it. I guess
adorable.
this guy, he took his stepson out while they were shooting Gotham out in front of his apartment in New York City, and dressed him up as Batman and took pictures of him in front of all the Gotham police vehicles and in front of it.
Precinct.
Yeah, and it just looks amazing. They're very dramatic shots.
Oh yeah.
And the link.
And I mean, the kid's like 3.
Mhm. And
It's so cool.
the link will be in the show notes over at legendsofgotham.com too. Definitely check it out. It's the Image UR album. Very good stuff. Very good stuff. And the last thing we wanted to point out here, and this is just something,
It's fun.
for the week off between episodes.
Is there a week off?
No, I mean like between
Oh,
a week from now.
the 6 days.
From
Got
now,
you.
6 days, and then a new episode of Gotham. Don't
Got
worry. Don't worry. No skip week.
Don't confuse me.
I don't think. But there's a bunch of Gotham role players on Tumblr.
Oh, the tumbles. See, this is why I
Yeah.
didn't know it.
Yeah, I thought you guys might like to look at this, but these are people who are running their Tumblrs as if they're the characters from the show. And a lot of times they even interact with people. They have people being Alfred Pennyworth, Mayor Aubrey James, Barbara Keene, even people like Harvey Dent and Harvey Bullock, Ivy Pepper. basically all of the characters from the show, you can go and see sort of a alternate version kind of presentation from some Tumblrites.
Well, sucks if you were doing one for Liza.
Oh yeah, because that's pretty much.
You can just shut that puppy down
That's
and
a
pick
closed
someone
loop,
else.
more or less.
It was okay. Completely unrelated. Well, not unrelated. The
Mm-hmm.
creepiness of Mrs. Cobblepot with
Cobblepot.
the scarf and Penguin's reaction to it.
Oh yeah,
He was just like,
he was like, "Okay, mom,
finders
that's fine."
keepers. Huh?
Yeah.
She's dead. Huh?
And she was just fantastic dancing around and everything.
She's so creepy.
I loved it. Okay, now we'll move on to some listener feedback real quick. As always, when you get done watching Gotham, no matter how scared you are by the father of the Scarecrow, run to your computer, email us legendsofgotham@gmail.com, take some fear gas, tweet us at Legends of Gotham, jump off a building,
No.
Facebook us,
jump off a
facebook.com/Legends of
building.
Gotham, and die of fright. Voicemail number is 424-274-2352. Again, that number is 424-274-2352. You can email us MP3s too, and the first one to do that was Bobby.
Well,
Let it go. Yeah, I'm assuming
No.
Butch is still alive.
Butch is alive because they want to play with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Episode or to their storyline in general,
By the way, sorry, video listeners, you weren't getting the first part of Bobby's voicemail.
for that matter. I hated that stupid Robin Lord Taylor car commercial in the middle of the episode. And Jim Gordon's supposed to be this great detective that goes on to become Commissioner Gordon, who works hand in hand with Batman. But it just seems that like he doesn't do much detecting. Everything kind of just falls into his lap or thrown onto his desk in a paper sack for that matter. And while there wasn't all that much overacting, which has been one of my biggest complaints about this series as a whole, the ending was a bit too much. Few other quick observations are I couldn't figure out what his name was, but the Penguin's goon is quickly becoming one of my favorite characters of the show. And a suspect for your who is this Joker, when Kringle called Detective Flass, told Nigma that Detective Flass had a strange sense of humor. I'm going to give this episode 39 of 47 shattered fragments of young dreams.
Excellent. And Bobby, you should totally put that in a comment at legendsofgotham.com/look at this Joker.
Yes.
Look at this Joker. Okay, next up is Rebecca. Take it away, Rebecca.
What's up, Legends of Gotham?
What's up?
It's Rebecca Johnson here calling about
up?
the episode titled Welcome Back, Jim Gordon. Since this one was mostly about Jim Gordon, I just wanted to say that I enjoyed him saying, "Screw the commissioner," given his future in the Batman universe. But more than anything in this episode, I loved that they've been raising the stakes, R.I.P. Liza, and furthering the war between crime families, especially the feud between Penguin and Fish. So I got a question. When Oswald was up on stage and saying, "I bid you welcome to the official grand opening of my newest night stop, he gets interrupted. What do you think he was going to call it? My
Iceberg Lounge. That's probably what you're about to say, but I'm going to let you finish.
guess is the Iceberg Lounge. Looking forward to
What's up,
your thoughts.
Kanye?
First of all, I love the fact that the guy that played
Hold on.
Woo! Hold on.
Who came in too quick there? I'm going to
You're
let you finish.
You're gonna bust a Kanye on her.
I'm going to let you finish, but Iceberg Lounge is the tightest club around. Take it away, Woo.
First of all, I love the fact that the guy that played Bob in this episode also played the doll maker on Arrow. I loved everything in this episode, from Fish and Penguin to Penguin's mother acting
See, lots of crossover.
See, this is why we should watch the other stuff, but I don't know when. I like to sleep.
Yeah.
like the drunken queen of the winter ball. And I love Ben McKenzie's facial expressions when we see him in the alley with the guy that one of Falcone's thugs pushed on to get Flass convicted and put put in the precinct. And I loved how Ben McKenzie played it. Like, you can always tell what he's thinking by his eyes. And I loved his facial expression when he's like, what have I turned into if this poor guy, yes, he's a thug, but he's begging for the life of his significant other and his children. And if I'm willing to go these lengths to get what I want, how does that make me any less a bad guy than the people I'm trying to put away? In a weird way, Selena kind of pushes Bruce to becoming more cut off to people and more, like, isolated and more wanting to become what eventually Batman will become. And I also find it ironic because later in their lives, she's also the person that kind of brings back his humanity. It's kind of a weird, kind of circular way of bringing back human emotions in a person. I give this episode 5 ice picks out of 5. Sorry, Anne-Marie. I know that's going to make you cringe. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.
Did the ice picks make you cringe?
Oh, they're a little creepy. A little bit.
Just a little bit. Okay, and we're going to wrap up with a few tweets we got
tweet.
last night, right after the episode finished airing. First off, Doug Green at JustDoug77 said, Carol Kane is delightfully creepy as Mama Capoput.
She's so creepy, dude.
Capoput.
So creepy, Doug.
You want to read that one from the next
Lady?
one? Yeah.
Lady J had, are you #essential fans of Captain Sarah Essen? And
I thought Essentials
Yeah,
or
the
Essential was
Essentials.
a really good name
That's
for people who
perfect.
like Essen. For sure.
I will hashtag myself there. I like
Yeah.
her.
Good idea, Lady J.
Good
And,
job.
Lastly, and I believe he tweeted us right before the show too, but Pastor of Batman Sark tweeted out after listening to last week's episode, highly recommended. Legends of Gotham achieves what a good podcast should. It inspires the savvy hearer to appreciate Gotham. Hashtag 5-star rating. Which, by the way, you can go to iTunes and review us.
Yes,
That's always
please.
nice.
You can copy and paste that over to iTunes. Just make sure you hit the 5 stars.
And yeah, he did also tweet us with a rough idea of what he thought about this week's episode, which, if you know at Pastor of Batman, he loved it. Absolutely loved it. Next week, after you finish watching The Mysterious Dr. Crane or whatever it's called, I forget, run to your computer while on Fear Gas at legendsofgotham@gmail.com. Tweet us while jumping off a building at Legends of Gotham. As you're falling off the building and you're having a heart attack from fright, facebook.com/Legends of Gotham. And as you hit the cold pavement, 424-274-2352. Again, that's 424-274-2352.
And I will
we're
come
sorry
save
for your
you.
life or loss.
Yeah,
Loss
I
of
will
your
come
life.
save you. I don't know about this guy over here who's telling you to
Well,
jump
it's
off
the
buildings.
fear. It's not me. It's the fear toxin doing it. Where can people find you online, Anne-Marie?
You can find me on Twitter at DeSimone. I also write about food stuffs and crafty stuff over at crunchycrafty.com.
Excellent.
And I actually featured this podcast this week. So
Oh yeah, you did a big
maybe I'll
podcast
tweet
roundup
that out.
sort of thing.
Yeah, a little bit.
And as for me, you can follow me on Twitter at Bill Meeks. You can follow my superhero novel series, Dogboy Adventures, at dogboyadventures.com. And you can follow my new podcast, Universe Box,
Hey, that's mine too.
at universebox.com. Okay, so I think that's about it. Any other business we need to get to? We're at about an hour.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
You got anything?
Join us next week for more
Legends of Gotham. Adios, amigos.
Adios.
Alvarez!
Thank you guys for hanging out in the chat.
Thank
You
you.
can hear me still? Probably can. Very much thank you. But we're going to go, guys. Have a good night. We'll see you same bat time, same bat channel next week, 8:30
How have we
p.m.
not used
EST.
that before?
I know. We just did now.
I mean, we're on
so it's
episode
okay.
22.